Do you know the last time we were out here in the sun? Huh? You guys remember this? These were the good old times. Back in the day when, you know, my skin, it absorbs the sun again. We're no longer the night walker that we once were. So, it's time to discuss something I've been wanting to not talk about. Red Reboot. And I fucking cry every time. Let's dig into this, shall we? After just watching some OCG today and massive playtesting, we watched Stun get utterly torn apart today by Pendulum Magician. Now, that shouldn't be anything strange to you, because Inspect Border, you know, your opponent can get around it underneath Pendulum monsters. But there's this new fancy trap card out. It's a counter trap card. It's Red Reboot. You can activate it from your hand. Have your life points. Short, not a big deal. You know, like, you don't think much about it. Negate trap card activation, so it's a counter trap card, so you can shut off your opponent's traps. It has the effect to reset that trap card that you negated back onto your opponent's field. Not a big deal, right? Then your opponent can send another trap card onto the field. And then for the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate trap cards. This is pretty good. So most decks are using this as a cutoff tool. So if you're playing against anti-meta, anything like that, you slam this shit on the table from your hand. You cut off your opponent's trap cards for the rest of this turn. It literally is... Konami was getting to the point of allowing control decks back into the game. Everything was going great for Stun players. You guys know what I mean. Like, everything's all fine and dandy. You're walking around the park. You're like, oh man, like, everything's going nice. And then all of a sudden a meteor comes out of nowhere, and it's the newest release card. They had to do something about Evenly Matched. Evenly Matched has been this, just play it from your hand for free, not a big deal. Red Reboot's like, nope. You know, and your opponent's forced to set another card onto the field. You know, like, Evenly Matched, you know, you get to keep 2 cards. You know, it's fine. You know, it's not a big deal. But this was an anime card. This wasn't specifically made to counter Evenly Matched. It just so happens that, you know, Evenly Matched came around, everything was going all hunky-dory. We get 3 paces in for Stun. We're like, oh cool, we can finally play, you know, OCG's got 3 Compulse, 3 Thunder King. Judgment. God, that's one of the other good parts too. Red Reboot can be stopped by Judgment. If your opponent Red Reboots your Solemn Judgment, well, you know, you get to reset your Judgment and set something else. You know, the Pendulum matchup, go grab your Unending Nightmare. Fucking absolutely free value. No punishment, no reward. You know, you're good. You're bueno. You're good to go. But if you're playing an OTK deck, like, you're done. Like, Red Reboot for playing FTK is the fucking tits in the OCG right now. Like, oh boy. I'll Red Reboot your, like, any kind of trap card that you have that would stop me from generating any type of board. Moral of the story about Red Reboot right now. Any sort of trap card, like, Konami is literally getting to the point now to where trap cards just, they're losing their fuego, man. Like, traps used to be some of the best shit in the game. Now we got that fucking, the effect veiler from the hand while you control no cards. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like, you got Red Reboot, which counters infinite whatever. I mean, paying half your life points and giving your opponent a trap card to Jinzo your opponent for the turn when you're probably going for game, that's a little bit of broken, unfair value in my opinion. Imagine if Red Reboot wasn't a counter trap card. Could you imagine that? Like, it would have been, I want to say, a little bit fair because you could chain other trap cards to it. But the fact that it's a counter trap card, and for what it does, I think what it does and what it gives your opponent, it's fair. But once again, the issue is, like, OTK decks, like, punishment style things like this. Like back in the day, had we had an effect like that, during Teledad format, would we have played it? I don't. Maybe. Stopping your opponent's royal oppression. Maybe. You know, I'm dumbfounded that this card exists. Now, if on the flip side of Red Reboot, I do gotta say this though. I did watch one game that Red Reboot, basically, if you don't have a follow-up to Red Reboot, like, if you Red Reboot when your opponent's playing stun, and your hand is brick, like, you open up, oh cool, you got like Oath Dragons and trash like that, and like, you don't have a follow-up, like scale placements, trash like that, and can't establish a board. I don't know why you played Red Reboot. That was an absolute terrible idea, honestly. So, Red Reboot's going to be the solemn judgment of this generation too. That's something else I want to point out. I can tell you, having looked at Red Reboot, if you play it into shittier situations and you misplay it, much like Solemn Judgment, yeah, I know, I'm going to compare fucking Red Reboot to Judgment. In the situation that you're going about this, wow, nice truck, man. Fucking, you should get that shit fixed. So, if you play Red Reboot incorrectly, and you don't set yourself up previously in the scenario that I said earlier, you're going to be in a shitty situation, as they like to say. So, please, don't misplay Red Reboot. I mean, the best value you can get is your opponent can't set a trap card from their deck. I mean, shiggles, right? Like, you Red Reboot, your opponent's not playing any of the trap cards. Or you give your opponent, if you're playing in the OCG, you give your opponent Emptiness, you know, or Unending Nightmare, you know, more Solemns. There's a lot of, like, inherently bad things that can happen off of the benefits that Red Reboot gives your opponent. So, there's that. Red Reboot, it was a good design card. I like what it attempted to do. My issue is in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you still have so many OTKs. So many. And to create a card that feeds into these, why? Like, it's very interesting to see that scenario come up with just weirdness and bullshit like that. Excellent card. It's going to be a secret in the TCG. I'm fucking calling that now. All you kids out there, you fucking think you're cool doing this Tide Pod challenge? Stop that shit, alright? Like, it's as bad as fucking telling me that Red Reboot's going to be an Ultra. I don't think it's going to happen. Back to the other note I said in this video. Infinite Phantasmal, or whatever the hell it is, the card that's got infinity on it's a trap card. It's a Veiler. You can play that shit from your hand, stop your opponent's continuous effects. It doesn't just have to be activated effects. So, once again, wow, fire truck's coming. Fire truck. Where's fire truck? Fire truck's coming. I see the fire truck. Fire truck, it's red. Ooh, go get him, fire truck. Oh, I wonder, see, go get him, fire truck. Yay, red is fire truck, fire truck, fire truck. Alright, so anyway. The design of that card, that was infinite value. Being able to have a trap card, like, trap cards are becoming hand traps. Ironic to their name, right? Because they're hand traps. They can be activated from the hand. But you gotta consider, at the end of the day, these things don't have stats. So, unlike multi-purposing hand traps that are tuners, you know, like Ghost Ogre, Ash Blossom, shit like that, it comes down to, hey, like, it's still a trap card. It can be activated from the hand, evenly matched. You know, people are going to play these blowout cards. So, even shit like Red Reboot, you're going to play it because it has the clause you can play it from your hand. That's going to be the only real reason why you're going to play it. Let's be real here. You know, Flames of Destruction or whatever the fuck the set is, it's going to be excellent for the game. Going to be a lot of degeneracy coming. And as I always like to fucking make fun of the internet and the memes, like, maybe you know the way, maybe you don't. Maybe you got a fucking fancy ass trap card it's going to come on out. Maybe you don't. No, it's to each their own. It's definitely going to be some interesting shit. So what do you guys think about Red Reboot? Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Probably do another discussion on this card when it beats my ass some more later. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.